hi everyone. Thanks for joining us when we talk today about driving your customers to your online booking. First, let's just start with some introductions of the three of us you can see on screen. Starting with myself, I'm Robyn. I'm in the marketing team at Vetstoria. I've been here almost a year. Before that, my background's in tech marketing. I was at Trustpilot before. But now I'm able to combine my love of marketing with my love of animals, which is nice. I'm sure you'll see some of them appear or make noises in the background through the webinar. But let's just hand over to Ida now to introduce herself. She's logged in as me currently, so if you get confused, I'm Robyn. Ida will introduce herself now.
I tried to be Robyn for a day. Feels good so far, Robyn. So yes, hi everybody. I'm Ida. I joined Vetstoria in 2022, and I managed the customer success team here at Vetstoria. My background, unfortunately, I have to say, is not the vet industry, but I used to manage a client portfolio in electronics, consumer goods. And then I joined a few years ago Vetstoria, and I'm learning and I love it. And I am a pet lover and pet owner myself, so I usually take the perspective of the pet owner throughout the process. And then I would hand over to my lovely colleague, Vicky.
Hi everybody, so my name's Vicky. I'm a registered veterinary nurse. I've worked in various different environments, from first opinion, emergency and referral, before embarking on a new chapter with Vetstoria 4 years ago, and now I lead the implementation team. So I'm really in a privileged position where I get to onboard new clinics worldwide every day, and get to still keep my foot in the veterinary industry. So it's really lovely to meet you all today.
Great, thank you. So before we get started, we want to just do a quick poll. Just see, and this can run while Vicky does a little what we're going to cover in the webinar, but if you want to just fill out, it should pop up on your screen any minute, whether you currently use Vetstoria or not, just out of interest for us. And just a quick note, if you've got any questions throughout, try and use the Q&A box at the bottom. You can ask them whenever you like. We've got a Q&A section at the end, and we'll get to any that we have then. But for now, while you fill out your poll, I'll pass over to Vicky so she can cover what we're going to talk about today.
Thank you, Robyn. So yeah, in the next hour, we're going to cover how to get started and how to drive traffic to your online booking tool. We're going to cover various client engagement platforms and some actionable tips to really get customers engaged and start booking online with you. So after this webinar, you will understand the importance of increasing traffic to your online booking platform, know how to set yourself up for success. We're going to help you by starting with 5 action points to get started and give you insight in how to measure and improve as well.
Nice. Do we have any results yet, Asta, or is it a bit soon? Come back to it. Nice. Okay, good. Most people are using, that's good. We can try and frame it in the perspective of mostly customers for now. Thank you. Cool. So I think next part is just talking about why this is such an important topic to cover, which is over to Ida.
Cool, thank you, Robyn. So we thought we start by explaining why it is so important to offer online booking. So there's a few reasons. You can take it from the perspective of convenience for the pet owner. So let's think from the pet owner perspective for a moment. What does online booking create for a pet owner? It creates convenience. Why? Because this tool will be available 24/7 to pet owner. You can create a scenario, your personal life, you come home after work, 8 o'clock in the evening on the couch, and that's the moment you remember, oh shoot, I did want to book an appointment with my veterinary, and you can't. If your vet is not offering online booking, you simply can't, which means you're going to feel stressed about it. You have to call them in the morning. Your experience already has been compromised, and then probably the experience, first call in the morning, while the receptionist is trying to catch up on all the calls from the forgotten ones from the evening, also not a great experience. So Vetstoria, for example, will help you to manage this out-of-hour bookings. And 42% of appointments are actually booked out of hours. So that means for 42%, you're increasing the convenience, you're increasing the experience, you make it available. If you want to translate it in other terms, you can also calculate it. Vetstoria is 24/7 available, and that equals 168 hours, and we're talking 24/7. If you translate a regular practice that's open 8 hours a day, that's 55 hours a week. So you can do the math. What do you think is better received service, 54 hours a week or 168 hours? So when you offer out-of-hour bookings, not only does that improve the experience for the pet owner, that's one part of it, but obviously it improves your experience. It decreases the call volume the morning after, and you will have a free emergency line because you will redirect traffic to your online booking tool. So it's a win-win situation. Next point you see here, 94% of pet owners actually love the tool. And that's an important one. We ask our pet owners at the end if they like Vetstoria. I'm very lucky to say they love it. It's easy, it's simple, it's accessible through website, through mobile phone. You choose whatever device you want to book it from. There's no login required, no download required. You simply go ahead and book an appointment. That's from, of course, from pet owner perspective. All of you who use Vetstoria, you know that you have all the customization options to actually control the flow from practice perspective. And then the chart to show you just how important it is that if you don't offer online booking yet, you should. Because what happened over the past is that the millennials surpassed the baby boomers. So while there was the baby boomers, which is the generation that might have wanted to stay away from a digital solution, that's no longer the case. Pet owners are now majority millennials. And if you look at studies of how millennials behave, or you look at yourself or your surrounding, I say myself, because I am one of those, we do everything online. We shop online, I read online, I organize my travels. You know, summer vacation is coming up. I didn't use the computer once, I used everything. I did it over my phone. So all your actions are happening online, and the same happens with your expectation. Who of us would expect to call a flight company to actually book a flight? None of us. We would be super annoyed by this. And this is a natural development. Which is also happening in the vet industry. So the earlier you join, the easier it is for you to adjust, to adopt, and the better the experience is for your pet owners.
Lovely, thanks. I think lots of people here probably, given that lots of you are customers, you realise that it, you know, has been a good idea, but it's good to see it laid out in data. I think now we'll go up for setting yourself up for success, which Vicky is super qualified for as our head of onboarding. So I'll hand over to you now, Vicky.
Thank you, Robyn. So I believe there's going to be another poll coming up. We do like our polls. It's going to be asking you whether you manage the website yourself, whether you have perhaps an IT team to support you. So it'd be a good indicator for us before I dive into the website integration. So hopefully you'll see that appear momentarily. So how to set up your online booking platform on the website. So some key pointers here, and I'm going to be showing you a few live examples in a moment as well, so I will be flipping screens. We want you to have a strong sort of logo and branding on the website that your clients are hopefully familiar with, that's university friendly and inviting. We also want you to place several call to action buttons that may say book appointment, book now, book online, in various different places on the website. We also have our floating button, which I'll be demonstrating to you in a moment. And we also highly recommend having a dedicated page purely for online booking and embedding what we call the widget code onto that page. Now, what this allows is for the clients to stay within your website. They're not taken to a separate page. We want them to be able to navigate their way around, spend time on your website, which is a bit of a hidden benefit. We want to make sure that your search engine optimization is catered for as well, and people are getting the most out of your website. We also want to consider how this looks on a mobile or a tablet view, and whether you're using any sort of pop-ups or banners that could impact the user experience. So I'm just going to exit out of this presentation for a moment and show you a few examples. Here we go. So this website, Vets on the Common, this is an independent clinic. What I love about this website is that I do find it very appealing. It's right up my street. It's clean, it's crisp. There is information that is clearly laid out. I like how everything is placed here. And you can immediately see on the left-hand side, a call to action button, book now. This is at the very top, ahead of registering your pet, contact us, follow us. So I've been drawn to that immediately. And if I'm interested in booking their services, I can. So it's nice and bold for me as well. And if I click on the book now button, the Vetstoria booking tool is loading, and how Vets on the Common have placed this is centrally, as you can see on the screen. It's loaded in a timely manner. They've got some information for new clients here, and I can continue with the online booking journey. So really simple and easy for me to dive in and start making those all important bookings. Now, what we also have in the bottom right-hand corner is our floating button. So this again is our call to action. And no matter where the pet parent is navigating, if they're sort of going tab to tab and learning about you, you'll notice that button remains. So it's a nice prompt to encourage the clients to, of course, book an appointment with you. Now, another example here, I'll just hop over. This is a corporate client of ours. Now, they actually already have a virtual assistant in the bottom right-hand corner. Now, that's not to say we can't use the floating button. We can sit it alongside this, but it's just showing you that some clinics of ours will just integrate in a slightly different way. So instead of the floating button, they still have the book an appointment button in the top right corner, but they also have it within this moving banner at the very beginning. So I'm just going to scroll back here to the start. It was right at the beginning here. There we go. So this is the first piece of information the pet parents will see. So immediately they can see that in a few various places, they can book an appointment and start, of course, using their services. So again, I really like the placement here on the website. And if I click on that button, this clinic has just done it slightly differently. It's not centrally placed, the booking tool, it's taking up the entire screen here. So there's no sort of restrictions, but again, you can decide whether you want it to fit a particular window or whether it will be unrestricted like so. But again, very seamless for the pet parents to start booking those all important appointments. The third example I'd like to show you is slightly different. So this is actually a referral location, and they are one website for multiple locations and multiple specialties. And not only can pet owners book this appointment, but so can referring vets. So what we've been able to achieve here is, again, a nice, clear, visual online booking tab. We, of course, keep in line with their colour scheme, their branding, to make sure that it's consistent. And what we have here is the opportunity to create what we call the widget code, keeping them on the website, but catering for multiple locations, as you can see. And if I click on one of those, as this is a referral centre, it's actually going to ask me whether I'm booking an appointment as a referring vet or a pet owner. And then the next step is the specialty that I need. So using sort of clever integration on the website, we're able to create these links that cater for multiple specialties and multiple links. And in all of the three examples, it's a seamless experience. The pet parent can very easily book an appointment. They don't have to download anything or speak to a member of the team. They can simply go online, book their appointment with you. Perfect. So I'm just going to hop back over to the presentation. I don't know if we've got those poll results, have we, Esther? Oh, okay. So who manages your website? So I do it myself, 27%. You're brave, bless you, because I know I couldn't do it. I've outsourced it to a professional company, nearly half of you, or you have an IT marketing team. So that's really interesting. And it leads on to my next sort of slide as well here. Oh, hello, where did you go? Support. Now, of course, during onboarding, I've had the privilege of getting clinics set up. We want to make sure that they're customized to your liking, but we do start to think about going live and the different platforms where you may be going live, including the website, and making sure this is optimal for yourselves and for your pet parents. You know, we really want to put ourselves in their shoes to make sure that it's a seamless experience. And we already know that a lot of you wear many hats in clinic, and maybe a web developer wasn't one that you signed up for. So bearing that in mind, we're here to help you. So we do go through a bit of a checklist to make sure that we are integrated on multiple platforms that you could be using. We will provide you with the necessary links and instructions to go live on your website if you are managing it yourself, but we can support you. We can go through it step by step via an integration call. We can even action it on the website altogether and do it for you. And of course, we can liaise with web developers if you're using them as well. So we don't leave you alone. We want to make sure that you've got the right support, whether it's during onboarding or whether, you know, sort of your website has changed once going live, etc. in the future. We've got a large support team and product experts that can make sure the integration is optimal for you. Perfect. Back to you, Robyn.
Nice, thank you. So now a little bit about actually telling people you've got online booking. Now it's set up properly with Nikki and her team. How are we going to actually let people know we've got it? So first of all, the first thing that you can do that will make everything else much, much easier is having an audience that you can actually speak to. So this can be on your social media channels. So maybe you want to get some followers on there. It can be a list of people, of email addresses that you collect. It can be people are engaged within your clinic. So really it's about building the audience that you can actually tell. There are some ways you can do it without having this, but this definitely helps. So some of the best ways are if you share great content, people are going to want to read it on your social media or in your emails. We've got, I'll come to it in a minute, but we can help with some of that. It's really about getting people interested in what you're saying. And I think it's a double-edged sword. It's great for you because you can educate pet owners on certain topics that you really want them to know about, and might actually make your lives a bit easier. But also you can create, we've got quite a good niche in terms of most of your audience are going to be animal lovers, and people love animal content on the internet. Our marketing team, I don't know if you've seen stuff from Vetstoria recently, but people enjoy it when we just post videos of our animals. There's lots and lots you can do in terms of building your social media following. Using social proof is one way as well. This is basically people saying that your brand is good, your clinic is good, rather than just you saying it. So this could be you sharing testimonials from some of your pet owners. Again, could be social media, could be via email. And one great way actually is to just ask people's permission. So the old-fashioned way is doing it when they're talking to you at the desk. You can just ask if they'd like to be contacted for, you know, you can contact them for medical issues, but you need permission to contact them based on promotions or things that aren't, you know, business critical. So ask them, would they like to hear about your promotions, about changes in opening hours, any of your marketing? Do they want to hear about, you know, if you're doing a discount for dental week? So you can ask them. That's an easy way to do it. We also, via Vetstoria, when you have a new clinic, a new pet owner registering, there's a little checkbox that you can enable that means that they can say, yes, you may contact me using with marketing and promotional material, which is great. It's obviously really important to store this information somewhere. Some clinics will have systems that can do it for them. Maybe it's your PIMS, maybe it's your own system that you're using. If not, you can just keep them in an Excel spreadsheet. It's definitely, I've done that before in the past. If you need to do it like that, you can. And it just means that you can contact them. They will be more engaged because they have accepted that you are going to contact them. And it's a great way of having an engaged audience on email as well as social media. What's the next one? I think the next one is, Oh, so for the content, our lovely marketing team, I can't take any credit for this, but some of the other people in the team create great content all the time. It's things like how it's basically content to educate pet owners. So it's stuff that you can very easily either download and share, or you can edit it in Canva. We build it in Canva. We've got some tutorial videos on that if anybody needs them. But you can put your own logo on it. You can change the color so it matches your branding. It's really easy to use. And we do things like the one in the screen was for dental health, but we've done how to take care of your pets in extreme weather. We've done the benefits and importance of microchipping. I think we've done, what to know before you adopt, rescues, how it's different, or even before you get a pet. These things you can just take and share, and it will help you build your own engaged audience. And the marketing team send these out. I think we do, I don't want to overpromise here, maybe 3 or 4 a quarter every couple of months. So you'll see them on our social media, and you can just use them, take them and use them, so they're completely free. So it's an easy way to start if you don't have a team creating this content for you. I think the next one might be over to you, Ida.
Okay, so here we're going to talk about, I think in the next 2-3 slides, we're going to talk about how to shout about the availability of online booking. So now you decided you want online booking and you want to offer this service to your pet owners. That decision, you can put a tick. You go through onboarding, which means you met Vicky's lovely team. So you went through onboarding, through the implementation process. You can put a tick also there. If your IT system, your IT provider has done a good job, you have the website integration completed as well. So that's the next tick on the checkbox. And then it comes where it is really up to you to, I would say, shout about the availability of online booking. So there's many different ways of doing it. You can, as in this case, announce it via email. You can either way have an email and you send it to all your registered clients and inform them about the availability of online booking. You can tell them what it is, how it works, for what occasion it should be used, etc. You basically start to inform your client base that online booking is available. And that is a very important first step, because if you don't know and you've been a client for years, you might not necessarily go back to the website to discover that there's online booking on the website now. You might, but you might not. If you've been there for years, maybe the chances are going down. So having an email where you inform your registered clients that there is now online booking available for them, that's a good first step to let them know. If you want to go for a more indirect approach, I would say, a little bit more subtle approach to inform your clients online booking is now available, you can update your email signature. So every time you communicate with your clients, rather than telling them, did you know that there's online booking, you have a very nice visual at the bottom of your email, and we provide these. So we don't expect you to come up with your own designs and how to fix it. But if you go onto our website, you have great templates that you can choose from and download a design that is really appealing to you, and then you implement it. You can do that. And on top of that, if you want, you can integrate a link into that email signature. So if someone clicks on the email signature out of curiosity, I do that. I sometimes want to see, what did they put there? Most of the time it will redirect you to the website, but you could also just redirect them to the online booking tool. And that's great. So there's a very direct approach. You shout about it, you inform them via email, or there's a little, I would say, a rather indirect approach. You just update your signature, and then you don't have to send out an email, but it's just there. It's constantly communicated, and you constantly remind your pet owners that online booking is available. When we go to the next slide, a very important one actually is the reminder system. So there's different reminder systems out there people use. Some of them are provided by the PIMS. Some of them are additions to the PIMS. So it doesn't really matter which provider you're using. It changes, of course, for you. Are you communicating and sending out the reminders through email, or is it a text message service? This is what changes for you, but for us from Vetstoria, it doesn't really matter, because what we want to do with reminder is we want to make them actionable. So again, create this scenario of you yourself. You are a pet owner. I receive a reminder from my pet owner to think about the vaccination that is upcoming. So my cat needs the booster, is due for the booster, and I receive the reminder. If I receive the reminder and I have the phone number for me, it's like, okay, great. Now I look through my messages, it's evening, and I have no way to action it. The next day, I might have forgotten about it. And so I would say probably 3-4 weeks pass. That's me. And then I'm a little bit late. I'm going to call them, I'm going to apologize to them, and I'm going to ask for an appointment for my cat to refresh the vaccination. However, if you send out a reminder and include the Vetstoria link, it will be as easy as, do you know your pet is due? Please click here to schedule your appointment. And that's how easy it is. It is so easy for you because you don't have to follow up on those annoying pet owners like me and keep reminding me that my animal is due. But it is also so nice for the pet owner because it becomes something actionable with one easy click, something that I received, I can action it immediately, and it's done within a minute. So that's one. Very important to set it up. It's very easily done. You reach out to your provider and you tell them, can you include that link in the template? That's how easy it is. Another part, and we have that in some countries or maybe some places also, they prefer to still send postcards. So if you don't go necessarily for the digital solution, you say, I don't have a reminder system set up, but we like to send them the postcards. That's how we've always done it. And that's the way we would like to continue to do it. Not a problem. You could still include Vetstoria there. You can include a QR code. Again, what's the purpose of this? You make it actionable. I received the postcard, makes me smile, love the postcard, great. But I can also utilize my phone, scan it, and actually book an appointment. So you send me the postcard to book an appointment, and because there is a QR code that makes it so actionable, I'm actually going to follow that and I'm going to book that appointment. So that's an easy one as well. You can get those QR codes in the back end of Vetstoria and include them on any kind of printing that you send out to your pet owners or that you hang in practice. Yeah, it can be any kind of advertisement that you utilize. And then the next one, yes, okay, good. The next one is, of course, where you shout the loudest about the availability of online booking. So that's social media. As I mentioned at the beginning, your main audience now is millennials. And as I mentioned before, millennials are on their phone all day long. They hang out in social, that's what they do. And while millennial is the entrance level of the digital community, it's only get worse, to put it in that words. So it's only going to get more and more and more. The expectation of offering and communicating on social media, etc., is going to be increasing over time. So what we can do and what we support you with is you could integrate Vetstoria on your Facebook page. So there is a little hack, I call it a hack because there is a contact us button on Facebook. And if you would want to, you could embed our booking link into that button. And that will allow a pet owner, whenever they click on it, to actually book an appointment while being on Facebook. Why? Because like this, you make yourself available through different channels. People that are in different groups that might be redirected to your Facebook page. Again, you make booking an appointment accessible and actionable for a pet owner. So you can integrate with Facebook. If you don't want that, you don't have to. You could still take a link and integrate it in a Facebook post. So what you will see on our website, again, it's available for you. It's customizable as you need it. You can update Facebook and include a banner that will inform pet owners that online booking is available. You can, as I just mentioned, integrate and make the call or contact us button actionable, or you can post a Facebook post and include the information or a link in that Facebook post. And the same goes then for Instagram. You can do posts on Instagram if you would like to, and start to inform your audience on Instagram that online booking is available, and include a link on the post. And again, we provide the visuals that you need to make it a catchy post. So you don't have to come up with an idea, with a text, with the visuals. Everything is there. You can download it and simply post it. It will not take you a lot of time. And as Robyn mentioned before, we have those great content packs. Our marketing team will feed you with super creative posts, and you can just reshare them on your social media. The benefit of it is, of course, you're present, you're engaging with your clients, and you motivate them and you promote the online booking, which ultimately, and that's the biggest benefit for you, will free up your phone line. And freeing up your phone line means that you will be able to focus on real customer service, because we've all been there, right? I entered a practice before where I was greeted by someone on the phone while trying to type something in. For a receptionist, trying to solve 3 problems at the same time while I'm coming in, and I feel like a burden. I almost feel like I have to apologize. But imagine now the phone goes away because there's an online booking tool. There's no registration process because we take care of this for you, and a client steps in and you actually can talk to this client. That is a huge improvement in the experience of the client online, but also personally when you are in practice. Cool.
Do we have some examples of that, Vicky?
We do. So again, I'm just going to exit out of this presentation. Give me 1 second. Oh, hello. Okay. And apologies, you'll enter the world of my Facebook, and this is where I've got to hope that the long lost cousin doesn't post something extremely inappropriate. She does exist, I can assure you. So this is a clinic here, Barmore Vets, who have used the Facebook integration very well, exactly as Ida mentioned, by using certain templates to really get sort of their engagement going with their clients. So first of all, we have the Contact Us button. If I click here, it will take me directly to the booking link here. And as you can see, it's not going to the website. This is a unique link and is very useful in the future when we want to perhaps track or review our analytics, and we want to see how many clients are booking via Facebook. So that's how that button works, directly on their Facebook page. Furthermore, if we look a little bit further down in the feed here, they also have a featured post explaining that you can now book online. And as Ida mentioned a moment ago, directly in the feed, when they're sort of engaging with their clients, they've mentioned if you need food, a repeat prescription, need an appointment, book here. So they've put it in multiple places so that when their pet parents are scanning through and engaging with them, they can book online, which is great. And this is what we really want to see. Now, one thing that I've also just sort of snuck in here, especially for Barmore Vets because they do it so well, is a Google My Business link. So they have a Google My Business account, which they've set up here, and any clients that are searching within Google, you'll notice on the right hand side, we've got a bit of a summary about them. So we can access the website, get directions, we can read reviews as new clients that are perhaps interested in them, but a little bit further down, we can actually book directly from here as well. So this is fantastic, especially for new client acquisition and driving traffic, again, to the booking tool, and using yet another platform in order for this to happen. So I just wanted to highlight that this is a really optimal way as well of capturing those bookings. And then Ida mentioned a moment ago, Instagram. So in the biography itself, you can do a bit of a blurb about who you are as a clinic. You can add a booking link here. Again, there's templates that are available, as Ida mentioned, on our website that you can use. And this clinic, you know, apart from the gorgeous animals that they have on the screen, they have got this post here that says we're now offering online booking, how easy it is to use and what the steps are to follow. But you could even add a video. At this point, one of the stories, I am with it, with Instagram, I'm learning. I'm yet to get fully there. I'm not TikTok either yet, but I'm getting there. But you can add videos, you can add posts to, again, really engage with your clients on various different platforms. And this takes minutes to do. So when we do an integration call with yourself, if you need help, it is so simple to add a link and start getting that engagement going. So I will hop back to the presentation. Here we are. Where was we? There. So, perfect. Back over to you.
Nice. A few spoilers there. That was
I know, I'm sorry. You can't help it.
Never mind, at least the Facebook trip was successful. So I think this one is great, mainly because as someone who works in marketing, I know how difficult it is to get people to follow you on social media and to actually say, yes, please email me stuff. This one requires no opt-in. They're phoning you. It's all inbound. They're trying to contact you. And if you pop this in your hold message, you'll hear it in loads of industries, like the doctors one, obviously, but lots of places will say, you know, did you know you can book online? And it's as simple as that. We've got scripts that we can send to you guys. It's on our website, but we'll share some of this stuff afterwards as well. But you can do it in 2 minutes. There's no cost to it. Very low human resource. You don't need anyone who's particularly technical. This is something that every clinic could do today if they wanted to, and really direct people to online booking. And it means you can update it as much as you want. It means you can, if you've got something special, like, so some of our clinics will say for Dental Health Month, we're doing a discount on dental bookings for the month. Book it online and you can, you'll get 25% off or whatever your dental appointments. So you can update it whenever you want, which is great. And it will mean that people will drop off and book online if it's not an emergency. I think obviously it's important to flag to stay on the line if it is an emergency, which is what our tool does itself anyway, but to cover yourself, pop it in the hold message as well. I think the next slide is just a couple of examples of where we've had clinics using it in this kind of way before. You can see in there, it's basically directing them to book it online. And if they've got any questions or concerns, make sure they do stay online. And as I say, we've got the backup of the Vetstoria booking tool triaging for emergencies as well. Most people, when it's an actual emergency, will just want to speak to you, fortunately. But I really like this one. So quick, so easy. And you don't even have to think of the script if you don't want. You can just read this one out, sub your name in. I think we've got one. Oh yeah, one more after this. The last one. Announcing it in your clinic. Go old-fashioned. Put posters up on the walls. We can design these things for you. And again, you can edit them yourself in Canva if you want them to look a bit more like your brand. Some really want to do that and some really don't. They just want to print and post. But lots and lots of vet clinics have got, you guys know, the poster walls. They've got the little stands on the front desk. There's some screens around sometimes. It could be just a computer monitor on the front desk, or it's sometimes big appointment screens, and you can have things on there. It's just anything that reminds people over and over again that you can book online if you want, and especially when they're there. One thing we're thinking of testing out are window stickers. So we've got another poll coming your way. If you go to the next slide, Vicky, you can see what they might look like. Here's a couple of options the marketing team have mocked up, but really sending out to some of our clinics who ask for them some window stickers. So you can just peel it off, stick it on your window, people walk past, they'll be able to scan the QR code, go straight to your online booking. And it means that you can catch people who are just walking past. It means if people have turned up to your clinic and it's closed, it's kind of just an advert to say, if they're looking for a new vet, it's kind of just an advert to say, like, we're going to be really convenient for you. We're going to be really helpful. You'll be able to book whenever you want. And it looks cute too, with the little cat and the bird. It's quite a nice addition to the shop. Do you think, so I think the poll must have appeared, but would you use one? No offense taken, we haven't printed these yet, but it'd be useful to get a little sample to see if people actually would. I think we were thinking before of you guys printing, like Clinics printing them themselves, and I just think that'll be a bit painful to then stick up, but like real sticker, the ones that you can just peel off and stick on. Have we got any results yet, Asta, or is it too soon? We've got Asta behind the scenes, by the way, if you keep hearing us refer to her. Yes, good idea from some of the marketing team members. It's always good to get validation. Cool. All right, well, look forward to that. This can be another way that you can announce it. So I think those are our main 5 tips, and we just have, I think, 1 slide left before we, or maybe 2, sorry, before we go on to a Q&A. I can see we've got a question or 2 come in. So this bit's back over to Ida.
And I'll make this one very quick. Asta, if you want to go to the next slide, or Vicky, I forgot who is sharing the screen. So how do you want to make sure, you want to make sure that you remind your pet owners that online booking is available. And of course, there's many different ways. You see them listed here, you know, newsletter, just share newsletters if you do. Included in your newsletters. You could even include a link if you would want to. Something that we mentioned and discussed before as well, social media presence. Super important to be present on different channels because of the change and the shift in pet owners. Reminders, of course, that make your life easier. Whenever a reminder is sent out, it's actually actioned. And it turns into an online booking. You have in-person promotion. So it sounds like an ineffective one, but it is actually a very effective one. If you come to reception and the reception that I've known for a very long time is informing me, did you know that we have online booking as well? This is definitely something I would consider. So word of mouth, really keep the conversation going. That helps. Educational content, and it can be shared in different formats. As we've mentioned before, it can be flyers that you put in a nice little bag when they come and pick up medication, you know, to include it there. So everywhere they come in contact with you, they know that online booking exists. Client survey. Yes, it is a survey that provides information to you, but while you ask the questions, and it can be an informative piece as well. And then something that I like, we've had clinics doing that, and I loved it, loyalty program for those pet owners that book appointments online. So it can be a system where they collect points and they get something from it, for it, etc., etc. I think it's a super cool initiative to include pet owners who book through the online booking tool to reward them for this, right? It's a positive change in behavior. And then limited offers. So if you want to run, again, supported with our content packs, you want to run a dental check and you want to offer maybe the first 15 bookings for free, you really motivate the crowd to book online, because only those will have maybe dental check for free during the month that you're advertising it. So there's really cool ways of staying on top of it. And the big benefit of Vetstoria, of course, is you can track it. So we introduced all these different sources for you, and then you would maybe want to see, but is it successful? Is anyone booking? Do I see if my booking comes from Facebook or Instagram or Google My Business? The answer is yes. So at the end of the month, if you're curious, you would be able to see, where is my booking actually coming from? Is it successful, the campaign that I just ran? Do I have to put a little bit more effort into it? Is the communication that I'm pushing forward, does it work, etc., etc. So Vetstoria will support you within the analytics section of the platform and provide you these answers, which is great. It will help you to take decisions for the future.
Lovely, thanks. I think we have got a couple of questions, but it'd be lovely to have some more come in if anyone's got any. The ones we've got at the moment are mainly relating to cadence and how regular people should post things. So posting on online booking or updating hold messages. I think this is probably subjective. So I'll give my opinion, and I reckon Vicky and Ida will see if you guys, it's obviously this kind of thing is subjective, but with the ability to pin this at the top of your social media channels, you don't need to post it all the time. It's the first thing people will see when they go on your social channels. I wouldn't make every post about it. That'll be very boring and a really good way of losing people following you. But perhaps enough that you can remind new customers. And the hold message, I think when you've got new promotions or announcements around opening hours or holiday times, or like I said, dental health week promotions. I don't know why that one's in my head. I keep saying it, but that's a good example of one. So that one can be as often as you like, really. Vicky, Ida, anything else?
I agree with you, Robyn, and I don't know if it's wholly related, but I did listen to a podcast once about, you know, how often we should be posting on LinkedIn if you're quite present on there. And, you know, they do recommend, you know, if you were to be marketing yourself or services, you know, to at least be doing this a couple of times a week to keep that engagement with your clients. But as Robyn said, I think being a little bit clever about what you're posting and maybe tying it in and bringing it back to online booking or booking with us or getting those services promoted rather than it being solely about online booking, because I agree with Robyn that you'll probably have people vacate your page quite quickly. But maybe just sort of being a little bit clever about the wording and placement of it, and advertising your services, your promotions, but also being very personable about your own experiences in clinic and, you know, the patient of the week and things like that, to just build upon that engagement with your clients and that trust, really.
Yeah, I agree. We've got another couple come in. What do we think about a magnet for client's fridge with a QR code on it?
I love a magnet. I always get one when I go on holiday and bring it back. So I love a magnet. I love that idea.
Yeah, I think that's great. Having someone constantly reminded that if anything, you know, they want to chat about anything, that's the way to do it. I think that's a great idea. We always try and think about creative ideas like that in marketing. How can we keep reminding people to do something? And that's definitely something they'll see a lot. So that's a good idea. We got best time of day to post if doing it twice a week. Vicky, was that info in your podcast?
That's, do you know what, it did touch on it, and I'm a parent as well, and you know, so I am guilty of the social media glance at you know, before the school run, right, or when you're waiting on the playground, so before the working day, before the school run, so sort of in the morning time, lunch hours, of course. But I feel that just me personally speaking, I've had more success with posts, say on LinkedIn, when it is more of an evening time, again, when people are settling down for the day, they're scrolling through social media channels, even at weekends, of course, as well, when people tend to have a bit more time to look and engage with these things. So it's a very good question, because I do think you have to consider, are most people at work, or are they at the school run, and trying to tie in times where they may have a moment's peace to kind of engage with you.
Yeah, I know from our point of view, we like to do a midweek and a weekend. It's literally covering your bases. I think mid-mornings and lunchtimes are good. Like Vicky said, a bit of downtime. And I think, well, for us, Wednesdays and Saturdays have been quite successful. So it means you catch your weekend crowd and you're having a midweek social media browse crowd. So I do think with all of this stuff, it will be so, in the region you're in, depending on which country you're in and which region in England, if you're in England, it will be super different based on your clientele. So do you know what, it's a really good one to test and see. You can very easily see the metrics, the back end of your social channels, see how many people are looking at them. It's not, if you post the same one twice, you can see which one gets better reactions. But I would suggest testing a midweek and a weekend if you were doing twice a week to start with. And
I think as well, just sort of mixing it up a little bit, I think we're in an era of instant gratification, aren't we? And while we love posts and there's really useful templates out there, and you know, perhaps having a template of a social media post followed by a video, something that just catches the eye of individuals. I know that I'm certainly one to watch a few videos from time to time, and so I think definitely being varied with the posts that you're delivering on those channels.
Yeah, there's definitely some magic formulas out there for different platforms where you want to have 3 entertaining ones to 2 educational ones and 1 industry one, to make sure that, because people are there largely for entertainment. LinkedIn may be slightly less so, but I think majority of this industry is Facebook and Instagram at this point. So that people are there for entertainment. So people that just post business don't tend to do quite as well with numbers of followers. Maybe we can share some people who are doing it really well, actually. That might be a good one afterwards to give you some inspiration. Right, shall we, I think that's the questions we've had. Should we go to just some key takeaways and then we can let everyone go?
Yes, absolutely. So key takeaways. So just to summarize what we've discussed today, get started. So start collecting permissions to contact your clients, start building your social media following, as Robyn explained a little bit earlier, and tell your clients they can book online. You know, it's interesting when I've been in onboarding, and you know, we've set up the account and it's perfect, and we've got you live on various channels, but sometimes the key ingredient that's missing is simply just telling your pet owners that this is now a service that they can use. So very, very important. And actioning the 5-point checklist that we've gone through today. Another key consideration is, imagine you are the pet owner. I know that I struggle with this. I'm a pet owner. I love my animals, but I am a veterinary nurse, and I know that I can be in a bit of the industry bubble at times. So trying to imagine what it's like for them to discover your services, you know, look at your website. Is it appealing? Is it informative? Is it inviting? Is it up to date? Can I get exactly what I need as a pet owner? And if you have any doubts at all, are we missing an opportunity for really you to drive that traffic to the online booking tool? And as Ida and Robyn have both mentioned, do you have a strong social media presence? And don't overlook the non-tech integrations. So those personal moments between us and of course the clients, whether that's a phone message, posters or other assets at reception, and simply discussing it with our clients as well. So some really key things to think about, and just making sure that you're visible and accessible on multiple platforms. Just as a quick example, on the website, you may go live, but if the link is hidden away in a page that takes 5 clicks to get through, you most certainly aren't going to be driving traffic and probably have, you know, an underperforming booking tool. So you want to be visible, you want to be loud, and make sure that you really are giving those prompts to your pet owners to book online with you. And lastly, you know, we're here to support you. We've got product experts that know exactly how to integrate on various platforms. And as Robyn and Ida have mentioned, really taking into account the marketing perspective, as well as, you know, you being successful and getting value from the product. And we also have our sister companies, Whisker Cloud and Pet Desk, who can help with website integration and reminders as well. So if you are interested in that, please reach out to us. Very lastly, I believe there's going to be a follow-up email that's going to have the recording of today's webinar. There's going to be a checklist of actionable items that you can get started with, and we're going to share with you some really useful assets that you can start using on social media, reminders, etc., you know, the on hold script. So that's all going to be shared with you, as well as some useful links should you want to get in touch with us. But really, just thank you for joining us and spending some really valuable time out of your day to be with us. We really do appreciate it.